What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your buddy Lord, and we are trying out Morbid Metal. So, I would usually just kind of set up everything beforehand, right? Like, kind of figure things out, send out the stream to a bunch of stuff. I'm just doing this. I'm just doing this point blank. I'm just going straight in. So, before we do that, I'm going to talk a bit about Morbid Metal real quick. So, Morbid Metal, I remember seeing it for the first time a while back, and I was kind of curious of what the game was trying to do. Because if I'm not mistaken, the initial trailer for it did not like really show me what they were going for when it came to the game, right? And it wasn't until like a couple of colleagues of mine were pointing out that it's a stylish action game, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And then they're like, but here's the catch 22. It is being published by Ubisoft, and it's like, wait. Ubisoft has a character action game now? What the? I was so confused and kind of blown back by that because this is Ubisoft we're talking about. These are the people who just love live service stuff and love killing games off like a freaking elderly like dog or whatever. Like you know what I mean? Like it's really weird to hear a character action game or stylish action game. That's usually what we call it, a stylish action game being published by Ubisoft. It was just a weird concept. Like but I hadn't paid much thought about it because I was like, okay, whatever, because Ninja Gaiden 4 was just announced and everything, and I was more excited about that, and also the prospect of freaking Lost Soul Aside, because I had been waiting for that for like years when it was like first like shown, right? And Sony scooped up the one dude and everything to make the game. So yeah, I've been looking forward to that. So yeah, I don't know what to expect. I've heard a lot of in-betweens with this game, right? I don't know if this is going to be a good experience for me or a bad experience for me. I'm unlike most people, and some of my colleagues have also said, they've hated Morbid Metal for one reason or another, one of them being the roguelike elements, because, of course, there had to be a fucking catch when it comes to something like this. They can just make a actual, like, action game, a stylish action game that just uses its mechanics as a stepping thing to kind of, like, have replay value. We have to add some extra shit just because, we're not confident in just the gameplay routine. There's always a catch with it. So, who knows? I might be wrong. I'm gonna give the devs the benefit of the doubt that maybe the game is actually a lot more than what people have been kind of saying about it. So, I'm coming in here with the mindset of, for those who've seen me stream a bunch of times, you guys already know this, but those who are fresh to YouTube, because once again, this is another multi-stream thing. I know I have a couple of videos on YouTube that seen me mess around with Bloody Palace for Devil May Cry and everything, but that's underselling what I have done for many, many years when it comes to just character action, stylish action games in general. I've played literally everything. And like there might be I think like maybe Transformers Devastation I haven't touched. I own a copy of it, haven't played it. I know Setnaru constantly has told me, dude, what are you waiting for, bro? Just fucking play it. You've been sitting on it forever, just play it. So I've had him tell me, just fucking play it. And I just haven't found a good time to incorporate that. Anyway, off tangent a little bit. Let's focus back. I have played Astro Chain. I have played Bayonetta 1 through 3. I have the last one. I need to play that too. I have played all of Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry is my favorite series of all time. Devil May Cry 3 forever will be my favorite game of all time. Metal Gear Rising, Nier Automata, Nier Replicant, which I need to go back and finish that game too. Then there's Assault Spy. That's an indie game. We were trying out what was the game called? Raw Metal, which is like the stealth action beat 'em up game, which it was actually pretty fun. I need to once again sit down and play that for a little bit. But you get the point. Like, I've played a lot of these games, and some of them, it's like, yeah, I really enjoy these. Some it's like, you know, like it's whatever. So I've Ninja Gaiden. Obviously, I've completely forgotten Ninja Gaiden. How the hell did I forget Ninja Gaiden when I played all of them? I think the only one that I didn't really touch was the original Ninja Gaiden. I've played Black. I've played Ninja Gaiden. I have a copy of Vanilla 2. I have Sigma 2 for the PS3. I have I have Razor's Edge for the PS3. I have the Master Ninja Collection or whatever that has Sigma 1. Oh yeah, that's right. I do have Sigma 1 for the PS3 as well. I have all those games, and I have bought the collection again. I have played basically Ninja Gaiden 1 3 freaking times. 3 times. I've like I said, I've been around the block. I've seen everything. I've seen everything when it comes to these freaking games. So, Vanquish, another one. I played that and I beat that. I loved Vanquish. So you get the point. I'm literally I'm nailing this in so you guys can understand that I am looking at this from a combat junkie's perspective of like, okay, what is this game going to provide? What is it going to give me as somebody who's been pretty much dicking around with this for years, right? That literally my downtime is putting these freaking headphones on, talking to this mic, and punching demons in the face for fun. Okay? Like, what is Morbid Metal gonna give me that's gonna make me excited when this game comes out? And I hopefully with this stream and at the end of the stream and everything, when I'm done, if I beat it or whatever, if there is an ending to it, I will give my critique on gameplay elements and everything like that, and point out what I think they could improve and what I think should kind of get a relook or whatever. That because they say in the like on the start screen that give us your feedback. I'm gonna give them plenty of feedback in this video at the very tail end, just by giving the impression here and there, whatever is going on with the game, right? Like I said, I don't know what to expect from it. I'm usually would go into a game with the benefit of the doubt that, okay, it's going to provide some sort of entertainment until I get kind of bored and be like, okay, I'm out. Literally, it's literally like Dante, where he will just get bored. If the job isn't interesting, he's just going to get bored and dip. That's usually how I feel with most games these days. If it doesn't provide enough stimulation for me, or it feels like it's just nothing but a grind fest that just provides nothing fun to the experience besides waste my time, I'm just gonna go and do something that's more fun. that I'm not gonna sit there and try to slug it out. I'm just gonna do something else. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump into Morbid Metal and let's see what this is all about. Also, I'm still a little bit under the weather, so like if it becomes apparent that I'm like not talking as much or I'm not fully here, that's why. Okay, there's save file slots, demo. Can I create a new one? I didn't. Okay.
And here comes another. Will you be the one to surprise me?
Okay, so right triggers to sprint.
Will it be enough this time?
I'm already running.
They find their feet so quickly these days. No stumbling around on patchy me nostalgic.
I find that funny considering they're no stumbling around on the, is that a nod to people who don't know how to play these games and are just kind of lost in thought? They're just bumbling around. Granted that I can understand like I feel like these tutorials are actually pretty okay. Like, so it's kind of like giving you the rundown of how the mechanics work, which is great for so new players won't get like confused or lost. You would be surprised how many times I've seen games that just don't explain their mechanics well enough. Ninja Gaiden 2, for example, is notorious for that.
What an elegant moveset you inherited. How pleasing.
Alright, use anchors in the air will launch you to the next platform. When the icon appears below the anchor, press L2, then follow it with a dash or jump to adjust your landing. Huh. And it seems like you carry the momentum with the dash too. That's actually pretty useful. It lets you like kind of move quickly. Press square to attack. Avoid enemy attacks by pressing R2 to dodge during combat. You can dodge at any time, even during attacks. This will cancel your current action. Well, obviously, okay, so they explain how like cancels work, which is great. So I'm curious how big is the ceiling when it comes to you being able to cancel out stuff? Because like Ninja Gaiden, you have like shuriken cancels, you have hold cancels, I believe. Devil May Cry, you have guard canceling, you have short hop into royal release, you have Trickster. You can use Trickster to cancel out stuff with a teleport. In some games, anyway. You can even shoot your guns to cancel out attacks as well. So, and in Bayonetta, you know, they kind of have cancels. They kind of make it where if you dodge, it's a dodge offset where you can continue the string. So yeah, I'm curious how much you can do with this. R3 to lock on and use, okay. Use available skills to attack the enemies. Warning, skills take time to recharge. Nano Blade launches lethal energy blades from a distance. Blink Strike instantly volts flux to the enemy for a single volatile strike. So one's basically a charge where you can like, or like Stinger for example, where you can just close the gap. And one is meant for like long distance punishments. The question is, can you use it in the air? Okay, I got hit there. Yeah, you can use it in the air.
Your siblings stood no chance. Wonderful.
Alright, partially heals you. Okay, so this probably gives you a little bit. And this gives you less. Alright, the indicator above enemy's head. Oh, yeah, we kind of already know this. When you see the indicator, press R2 immediately to execute a perfect dodge. and then attack by square to execute a counter and inflict massive damage. Wasn't I already doing that though?
How about some reflex tests?
Oh, they try to mix you up. That's interesting. So you can't just sit there and try to counter. You can't be like what's the word? Passive. You can't be passive with them. Like they will actually try to trick you into thinking, because it flashed a little bit and then they didn't do anything until the second flash. So it is kind of clear. All right, that's smart, because it makes you have to be on your toes and actually be aggressive and constantly mindful of what's happening.
A beautiful evisceration. Well done. Who might you become?
There's a style meter.
Welcome, child of the future. Forget the lies she filled your mind with. Focus. Slaughter your enemies and prove your worth to me.
Oh shit. Okay, so this is the orbs float around you once you attack an enemy with a skill. Once orb is consumed and deals additional damage based on the used skill. One of the two active skills of the character grants a temporary critical chance boost for all characters when your skill and when you kill an enemy with blink strike. I'd rather just do this and let the dude hit me, and that's kind of my fault. I wasn't paying attention. I was kind of like messing around, curious how to like truly like engage with the with like flying enemies. Like do I jump up at them? Can I like get that big dude out of the way? Damn, I was trying to... They have a little bit of a delay with that swing. Let me see something. There we go. Oh, so this is like the equivalent of switching styles. Iku is the elite heavy hitter for the crushing crowds of enemy. Oh, wait, for crushing crowds of enemies and dominating bosses with devastating power. Use the shape shift to instantly change your character. Iku has two distinct wide-range skills, both including an airborne variation and a special skill. Ground Cleave launches enemies into the air. Echo Blade covers wider areas with 2 consecutive swings. Echo Strike charges a powerful single attack that deals a lot of damage. Oh, okay. I thought if you look up at him, it would actually follow. Okay. Well, better to learn now than... That would've been sick, though. But it freezes him in place, though. I really wish it kind of slowed them down. It didn't look like he was moving that much. I kind of would prefer if it, like, when you activate these abilities, the enemies would it slows down, and it brings them to a crawl to where you can kind of, like, set up stuff like that. Okay, that was where I came from. I think this would be better. As much as the juggle thing sounds nice, it's like unavailable in demo. Okay, so I'm guessing there's like some sort of currency that you can use at a vendor or whatever that's not available. Got hit. Choose one of 3 Devil's Bargain. What is this? Oh, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, you pick something and there's a pro and con to it. Of course I would have this because it's a roguelike. All basic attacks and skills heal you by a fraction of your missing health, but you also lose health every 5 seconds. That is stupid. Deal more damage, but also suffer more damage. All attacks are critical strikes. Your enemies, yours and your enemies. Might as well just do that. Everything else is a little too risky. Oh, now there's branching paths. And so it's like, do I want to keep going straight? Do I want to go right? Let's go right. Okay, there's nothing here. It was just a health thing. The combat is really smooth. I'm gonna give it that much. It is really, really smooth. So I think that it, well, outside of like, you know, nah, because I feel like the combat could use more, and maybe there will be more. Maybe there's like an upgrade. There'll be like an upgrade thing upon, because usually roguelikes, when you die, you can carry some stuff over and become a little bit stronger the next phase over. So maybe allowing things to, like, I don't know, like hold down the, you know, it's like square is primarily used for light attacks. Maybe allow people to be able to do more with the square button. And then I think about it, is L1 used for anything? I don't think L1's used for anything. So there might be more to it. But yeah, no, the square doesn't really, and then not only that, your skills are like stuck on a cooldown too, which kind of sucks. Which kind of gets rid of like any like sort of like creative like freedom you can do. But I know why they're doing that, is because like, okay, well, we need something for the roguelike stuff, right? We need to like be able to incentivize that. But I think like anybody in my predicament, right, or just in my shoes, will want to get stuff to kind of just reduce the cooldown period to be able to just do whatever. So maybe they have a skill tree in mind that's like, okay, well, this allows the cooldowns of things to be a little bit faster. you know, stuff like that to make it to where it's more, you know, it's more focused on the actual like combat and the elements itself. Like, oh, like there's the one card I saw with the juggling. And it's kind of weird how I have to switch to this one character to do a launcher. Like, I don't know. I'm just looking at this. And I might it seems like I'm nitpicking a little bit, but I'm just really thinking like, okay, if you want something that lets you get bonuses for doing certain actions, and you can't really do those certain actions without having to switch over to something really fast and then switch back, it's like, okay, that's kind of jarring. But at the same time, it's like, well, Devil May Cry does it. DMC4 especially kind of does that. So is it really jarring? I mean, we're kind of used to playing like that. So I guess as a kid, yeah, it was jarring. And so I don't know. I just feel like for new players, I'm just looking at this for new players as well. It's just like, okay, yeah, maybe kind of add something like, I don't know, like a how the fuck am I supposed to get? Oh, I'm blind. Like, I don't know, add something that allows like launchers easier, like by holding square or something, or do stronger attacks. That's probably a smart thing to have. I'm guessing this is going to be a fight, a boss fight or something. Oh, the demo's done. Okay. That was short. That's honestly really short for a demo. Like... But then again, you know, I'm kind of used to seeing games that with demos that are... Like Final Fantasy 16's demo, for example, was long. Neo World in View, that demo was long. I'm trying to remember the last... Okay, so... Alright, well, so far, I feel like... If they're going for this roguelike element with character action elements, I think they need to do something more with the character action elements, because just switching between the characters to do like certain actions, like you have to use Echo, was it, to launch an enemy up, and then what if you want to chase after them and follow through with it? You have to switch back to Anko here. I think that's their name, and kind of attack. I think there needs to be more ways of launching enemies into the air, and I think that. Like, I don't know, I was so focused on how fast the combat is, I didn't notice anything like that was kind of indicating, hey, there's danger coming at you, until it was like kind of too late. I mean, maybe add more more warnings about like projectiles, because there was a couple instances where I like on the side of the screen, I did see something that was red coming at me, and I dodged out the way. But that's honestly, I feel like that's just nitpicking. I really can't think of anything really that was a problem with that besides just the way that it wants you to engage with the enemies, because there's not much in terms of moveset really for the characters. I feel like there should be more. I really do feel like there needs to be more, because like with the square button and everything like that, it's like giving something like, I don't know, a hold function to where you can just, like I said, do things like launchers or heavier hits with strikes. Like, that's what I think anyway. That it's like, I just feel like there needs to be more when it comes to how you fight. And maybe the other two characters you're gonna unlock in the main game maybe will fill that up and it'll be a more flushed out system. But I hope that's the case. I'm hoping that's the case. But I'm also hoping that they add more to the just base combat for each of these characters, because I feel like it's not enough. It's not enough there. It's weird. It's just lacking. It's lacking a little bit in that. But like the feedback, the music so far, it isn't like the music that's playing in the demo. This isn't bad. Just how everything moves, how smooth it is. I love that, because it's not like there's no like end lag or any of the janky. Well, I like jank. Like there's a difference between good jank and bad jank. Bad jank is when I do a fucking input and I'm stuck there in that position for God knows how long after the input is finished, and I can't buffer into anything else, and I'm just pretty much eating shit for it. So like, I love how the dash kind of cancels out a lot of stuff. However, I do feel like when it comes to the aerial combated enemies, I wish there was, like I said, there was more ways to engage with those enemies in the air. I mean, the demo, not the demo, but the trailer kind of showed you could kind of do a little bit of jump canceling here and there off of some enemies from what it looked like. I'm not sure if that was like just because you kind of float in the air. So I'm not sure if it was actually that, or it was just well-timed strikes and then jumps and well-timed strikes, and then using the characters respectively to stay mobile in the air. Either way, like I said, everything about this, it seems okay. I can't really find a harsh complaint about it. Maybe somebody else will probably kind of point out some things, because like when it comes to combat, I just feel like it's just lacking. It's just lacking a little bit, and it just needs something more there to kind of really be like, oh yeah, no, I can definitely fiddle around with this, you know? As for the roguelike elements, I don't know how to feel about them. I feel like this game could, I mean, it could be something. Each action game that I've seen always tries to have a different spin on it, so I mean, if they want to go down this path with it, I'm by all means, but I'm used to roguelikes where you have what's the word? Branching paths. Like, you can choose to go this way, you can choose to go that way, or this way in particular, and you'll get different things. So it's like, okay, do you want to take this path and see where this ends up, because we don't know where this path leads, or do you want to take this path that's a little bit more dangerous, but you get more rewards out of it and you know exactly what's there, or you can take this and go and do a special challenge or something like that. Dead Cell had done that. I think Blaze Blue Entropy, that has done that, which I need to go back and play that game, because I played it when it first came out and they did so much stuff and changed so many things since then. And yeah, I need to like actually like really play that. I might actually play that after this, now that since we're playing this roguelike stuff. But you get the point. The point is, there's just a lot of stuff here that even for the roguelike part of it is missing a little bit. And who knows? You got all this stuff with the warping and using and having to like tether yourself to things and launch yourself off of stuff. Maybe add more to the movement. Make like movement challenge rooms or something like that, where you have to like get across a room, whatever, with a specific time, or you know, or challenges like don't fall, or you know, there's a lot of things you can do here with just the movement stuff alone in rooms, you know, like and give players more reward options. I think this demo just does not show this game well enough, and I can see where some complaints are actually coming in. Like this doesn't feel like it shows enough to kind of like be like, do I want to sink my money into this? And but I see the potential here. That's the shit. Like, I'm not full blown trying to be negative Nancy about it. Like, I actually do see the potential here, and if they show more of it, or they do another demo or whatever, I think this game is supposed to come out in early access at some point as well. Like, so if this, fuck it, I'll play it on early access. I'll play it. I'll see how things shape up, because that means that the game will constantly have new improvements, new innovations. It will constantly trying to shape itself and changes things around. And I feel like that it, you know, there's, like I said, there is potential here. It's just a matter of, you know, if the developers are willing to like take that like, you know, initiative to look at those things and go, you know what, yeah, let's add those things. Who knows, maybe they are adding those things. Maybe they are adding like the things that I had mentioned with like movement rooms being a thing where you can do special challenges to get extra rewards. I'm just saying, it's like there's just and when it comes to combat, it feels like it's lacking a bit. And then when it comes to the roguelike elements, it's lacking a bit, because just beating enemies and getting 3 different cards and then having a sort of gambling or sort of like, oh, pick your poison type system, and I guess a shop, like, that's great and all, but that's just bare bones. Like, what more is being provided here? And then, like I said, the demo doesn't show that. It doesn't really. I think they should have waited a bit before releasing a demo. Now that I think about it, I feel like they should have waited a bit before releasing the demo, and then showed like a little bit more of those deeper mechanics to get people an idea and be excited for what's to come when it comes to this game. Overall, do I think this is going to be a fun game? Yeah, probably. Is it going to be fun then, I don't know, when Ninja Gaiden 4 comes out? Or Lost Soul Aside? Probably not. You know, but it's its own flavor, its own taste, and I kind of respect that. But like I said, it needs to show more. It needs to give people more. It needs to show, hey, this is what we're doing, and this is how we're approaching these elements a little bit differently from our other counterparts, both in character action as well as roguelike. That's my final takeaway for that, is that it needs to show teeth. And I don't see it. I really don't see it. But the potential is there. They just need to look at it and really sharpen those fangs and come back with a vengeance. So when the game comes out on early access, I hope to see more more here to facilitate what their idea for this game is. All right, so I think I'm going to briefly end the stream right for this. That way, this is its own separate thing. That way, it doesn't get meshed up with the other stuff. I know I can keep running the stream as is, but I want to be able to separate the stuff a little bit better, if that makes any sense. So I'll end the stream briefly, then start it back up again with a completely different game. I maybe do It's gonna be a toss up. It's gonna be a toss up. I don't know if I'm gonna be doing Spirit Strike, Spirit X Strike, or do Blaze Blue Entropy. Because I'm a little half and half. I'm not gonna lie. So maybe when I start to stream back up in a few, we'll do both, and I won't have to worry as hard. Anyway, peace out. Like always, going underground. Have a good one.